What's up everyone, it's your boy Jaquil here, your guide to living with Apple every day, and in this episode we're gonna go over cinematic mode versus regular mode for video on your iPhone 15 Pro. By the way, feel free to jump around in the video if you want. There's gonna be 3 different sections where we test different lightings and different modes for your video. The timestamps will be below in the description as well if you want to jump around. At the end of each section's comparisons of cinematic mode versus video mode, I also do an analysis of all 4 variations, so make sure you stick around at the end of each of the 3 sections for that as well. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna start in the default mode, 30 frames per second, 1080 HD. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna jog forward so you can see the video. I took 10 steps from that tree to here, okay? Getting my cardio in. Alright, so let's go compare them over desktop to see what the quality difference is. It would seem as if 1080 HD has the best quality. Like even when we loop it over and over so we can see, it seems like somewhere between 1080 HD and 4K, the stabilizers work for the video, but when you turn it to cinematic, it gets very blurry and bumpy. Almost as if they turned off the stabilizers for cinematic mode in order to make it seem more real. Maybe you're using a dolly or, a slider, so that way it's more true to being a filmmaker. So if that's the case, I would say if you are going to be doing cinematic mode for your video recording where you're going to be doing a lot of movement, keep that in mind to try and make it as smooth as possible. Or record in the regular mode, 1080 HD or 4K, and let the image stabilizers do the job. Keep in mind, the outside weather for today is cloudy, gray, and overcast, almost 8 p.m. summertime. So it's gonna be slightly different depending on your weather and where you're at. And for the sake of this drama, I'm gonna record myself with this 8 p.m. summer gray day window and record myself this way, and we're gonna do it in the same order. And we're gonna use the selfie cam this time. Staring off into space in 30 frames per second, 1080 HD. How's the lighting? Staring off into distance, 24 frames per second, 4K quality. How's the quality? How's the quality? 30 frames per second, cinematic mode, selfie camera, staring into the distance. 4K, 24 frames per second, cinematic mode, selfie camera, staring into the distance. How's the quality? For low light by the window at 8 p.m., it seems as if the more you go up the quote-unquote quality for cinematic mode, the better the quality becomes. Like on the left at 1080 HD, it's lit, yes. It's blown up a little bit. Yes, everything's grainy because there's literally no other lamp providing a fill light, but it's just the only light's coming from the window. But you can see it almost seems like it gets more and more dramatic with the darks. It almost seems movie-esque by the time you get to cinematic 4K 24 frames per second. And this is all still no movement on the iPhone's part except me holding it up with my arm. So keep that in mind as well if you're doing talking head dialogues with cinematic mode versus regular mode for your video recording. And now we're gonna use this one lamp I've got here, completely evening. So it's a dark kitchen, there's no lights in this kitchen except for this lamp and that window in the back. We're actually gonna close this. Okay. So there's very minimal lighting. You can see the shadows behind me. Let's see the quality of the videos. Gonna wipe the lens. We're gonna do the same for lamp in my face, 30 frames per second, 1080 HD, how's the quality? 4K, 24 frames per second, selfie cam, how's the quality? With the lamp in my face. Cinematic mode with the selfie camera, 30 frames per second, 1080 HD, how's the quality? 4K, 24 frames per second, with the lamp in my face. How's the quality now? For using one lamp in the entire room as the light source, it almost makes no difference if you zoom in and you look carefully between 1080 HD all the way through to cinematic 4K. So keep that in mind as well, that if you have a light source with a strong enough light, you almost can save yourself the memory space if you don't need to shoot in cinematic, if that's the case. So in conclusion, I've noticed cinematic mode works really, really well if you have a really smooth arm or a really smooth dolly or slider for recording outdoors. So if you're recording a human at sunset and you're trying to get a very nice, beautiful feel, cinematic mode all the way. 24 frames per second, 4K. But if it's for movement, you might as well just go into the regular mode if you're gonna be shaking your arm up and down a lot. If you got value from this video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn that notification bell on so you get notified when new videos are released. I only ever do Apple related content, so if you love Apple, make sure you subscribe. See you in the next video.